Hello world, this is Samir and I welcome you all on this tutorial of AI Society. And in this tutorial what we'll be doing is we'll be doing a pedestrian detection project in which we'll be detecting people that are moving in a video or a webcam. So let's move forward. We'll be installing OpenCV and NumPy first. To install OpenCV and NumPy, simply put pip install OpenCV-Python on your terminal and pip install NumPy to install these two libraries into your computer. After that, we'll be capturing the video through the webcam or the video of our choice. I'm choosing the video of our choice. I'll be using a video from the stock images, and what you can do is you can also put 0 here to detect the webcam, but I think for pedestrian tracking you need to have a video, so try to put a video. You can record your own video or you can take from the stock videos website. After that, we'll be calculating the width and the height of the video capture that is captured from the video using the magic command of frame width and frame height. After that, what we'll be doing, we will be writing that detected video into a file like output.avi will be the file where the detection video will be shown as shown before. Okay, so after that we'll be reading the frame of the video. Okay, we'll be reading the frame of the video from the cap. What is cap? Cap is the variable that is storing the video, that is capturing the video from our video file. And after that, we will run a while loop until the video is closed, until the video is finished. We'll be running a while loop, and in that we'll be calculating an absolute difference between the frames, between the two frames, and then we'll be converting that video into gray format. Okay, we'll be converting that video into a gray format using color BGR to gray magic command. Okay, BGR means blue, green, red, and gray means grayscale image. So we'll be converting the frames into gray, and after that, so we'll be applying a Gaussian blur. So what is Gaussian blur? Let's talk a little bit about that. What is Gaussian blur? Gaussian blur is basically blurring of the image using some of the parameters of the Gaussian blur method. I'll not be going into very much detail, but here you can see the example. This is the original image and this is the blurred image. Okay, as you can see here, I hope you can see the difference. This is the original image, this is the blurred image. So this is something we are applying here. All this is happening in the background. We'll not be showing this into a video format. You can watch this by using the imshow command, imshow method, but still here we are not going to see how the Gaussian blur frames are being shown. So moving forward, we'll be calculating the threshold and we'll be using threshold binary here. So what this thresh binary will be doing, thresh binary will be taking the binary image out of the grayscale image. Okay, so we have first calculated the absolute difference and then we have converted that difference with that image into gray format, and then we apply the Gaussian blur, and then we apply the threshold binary in which it is converting that grayscale image into a binary image. Okay, after that we'll be dilating that threshold image by using the dilate method. See, I think you have learned about erosion dilation in the geographical perspective. Okay, so what erosion is, let's see, this is the original image, then the erosion image will be look like this. Okay, it decreases the object that has been detected. It decreases the width of the object that has been detected. So this is the original, this is the eroded image. Okay, just like the soil erosion. And this is the dilation in which it increases the width, it stretches the width of the object using the dilation method. So the similar thing we are doing here. We are basically dilating the threshold image that we are calculating in the last line, and then we are trying to find the counters. To understand counters, let's again go to the documentation. I have already opened the documentation. All these links will be available on the description below. So what are counters? Basically, counters are explained in very simple as a curve joining all the continuous points having same color or intensity. So, can you understand this? Like if there is a video and there are people that are moving into the video, it will try to join the all the continuous point having same color or intensity. Like if there is a video and there are people walking into the video, so those people will be having some kind of same intensity and same movement of the pixels around the video. So what counter will be doing? Counter will be able to detect that particular person or multiple persons in that video. Counters are the key point why object detection are being happening, how object detection is happening. So in here we have used chain, approx, simple and RIT tree. And if you want to know what are these, simply if you see here, here it is trying the same function he is using, like thresh, RIT tree and chain, approx, simple. So in these three arguments, the first one is source image. The source image is basically the dilated image that we are calculating, and the second is the counter retrieval mode, and third is the counter approximation method. If you want to know the counter approximation method, just come down. You will be knowing what is counter approximation method. Here there are two types of counter approximation method. One is chain, approx, none, and another one is chain, approx, simple. According to this paragraph, it is always said that chain, approx, simple is much better, because in chain, approx, none, all the boundary points are stored in chain, approx, none. So if you read this paragraph, you will be able to know what is the basic difference between chain, approx, simple and chain, approx, none. Reading documentation is really helpful. That is the best mentor that you can ever get in your whole life. Okay, because these are the things that is written by the experts, not these are not the blogs of some common people. Okay, so you can read these totally. So if you want to know the basic difference, see this is something we are getting after chain approx, none, but this is something after getting the chain, approx, simple. Okay, it is only detecting the endpoints. Okay, if you are trying to detect a line, you don't need to have the pixels, all the pixels around the line. You need just the start and the end point. In the similar way, it was able to detect the people by having the starting and the end point of the people. So moving forward, after creating the counters, it will create the array or the set of the counter. It will be creating this list of the counters and will be iterating over that. So for every counter in counters, that means for every person that is being detected on the video, bound a rectangle with these specifications. Okay, bound that person with the rectangle with these specifications. After that we are putting the text of status movement here. You will see in the output video. Okay, and after that we resize the frame, we write that image into a output file, and after that we'll see the output feed, and then we'll release and destroy all the windows until the enter is being pressed. So let's see how it works. As you can see here, it is able to detect the persons quite good. It is not able to detect it in the groups, but this is something that it is not perfect. Obviously we are mostly using the input methods, and we are not creating this manually, so these kind of errors are gonna happen. But I think this is something that this should excite you to explore more into this field. And we can see here status movement. We are okay, let's run again. We are seeing here status is equal to movement, and peoples are being detected easily and also being tracked. Like see, they are also being tracked. As they move, the box is also moving along with that. So this is something that should excite you more into the field, because it excites me when I started with computer vision, and these are most of the simple projects that you can work with. But working with these projects, what it does is it creates it clears up the concept that you are trying to understand into the computer vision. Like Gaussian blur, you will be able to know what is Gaussian blur. You will be able to perform the practical implementation of Gaussian blur, what is threshold, what is dilate, all these things you will be learning in the theoretical part, but also in these kind of projects you will be doing in the practical part too. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I will be mentioning this code into the description of I will be mentioning the GitHub link into the description. You can click on that, you can copy that, but try to make it for yourself, try to make it yourself and tell me how it worked. And if you are trying it, try to post on the Instagram, tag me, I'll be very happy. And also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of content related to machine learning and artificial intelligence on my Instagram account too. So that's it for the video. Listening, we'll meet in the next video.